Now that Gen V has officially come to an end, it's time to do a spoiler review, so make sure to grab your popcorn, but let's get right to it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. As I said in the intro, this is going to be a Gen V spoiler review. I'm going to go pretty much all in depth on this show. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. So I'm going to split this video up into like two major parts. The first half, I'm going to go over all the show. I'm going to go over the show like overall as a whole, talk about what I thought of it. The second half, I'm going to go into like really big spoilers during the finale. I'm going to rank the episodes. I'm going to rank what I liked about the characters, who's my favorite. Then I'm going to give an overall score and where I want the show to go as a whole. So to get it started, I want to give you my thoughts of where I thought the show was going, you know, when I first saw the trailer. Like how did I think about the trailer? When the trailer first came out, I thought it was going to be a way weaker show than The Boys. I didn't think it was going to be as high as quality as The Boys. I didn't think it was going to be bad, but the trailers didn't show how great this show was going to be, because the trailers, you could really can add all those gory moments to this show, because there's a lot of gory moments. It is an R-rated show, just like The Boys. I think some parts it goes even deeper than The Boys, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And I was thinking that maybe Amazon was maybe oversaturating The Boys universe, because we've already had 3 seasons of The Boys. We're getting a season 4. I think we are even getting a season 5 next. So I think they might have overstepped their boundaries just a little bit by going for a spinoff this soon. But that was just in the back of my head, because some streaming services do that. Marvel, they've been doing way too many shows, oversaturating the MCU. So I was just a little bit worried with this show, especially because the trailer didn't sell how great it was. That's why I tried to get more people to watch this. I talked to my friends about it, and I'm like, Gen V is the real thing. But I think you do need to watch The Boys before you watch Gen V, because it really does cross over in a really great way. But I gotta say, I love this show so much. Those trailers, as I said, didn't sell how amazing this show is. The characters are amazing, the writing is amazing. And if we think about it, Amazon is kind of owning TV. Amazon TV just keeps getting better and better, especially with these comic book TV shows, because this is based off, it's a spinoff of The Boys, which is based off a comic book, even though they kind of took their own liberties and kind of changed the comics a little bit. But Thursday nights are really so much fun for me, because we had The Boys last summer, which was an amazing time. But some people are getting it Friday, so Thursday night for some people like me, but Friday morning for other people. But Thursdays and Fridays are just awesome with these Amazon shows. As I said, Gen V just came to an end, but now Invincible season 2 has just started. I'm doing short reviews on that on my channel. But check out Invincible season 2 and Invincible season 1 if you haven't seen it. Invincible is just as top tier as The Boys and Gen V. I absolutely love what Amazon is doing creatively over there, and I love their streaming service a lot. It does have a lot of great stuff, but I think their shows and original shows are really well done. You don't really have to wait too much for another season. Invincible took a long wait, but I thought that we just had The Boys season 3 last year, and now we got Gen V. We probably don't have to wait too long for the next season, maybe a little bit because the strike's happening. But Amazon is just going crazy with TV. I just can't believe how good they are right there. And I love how the writers are, making a decent connection to the Boys universe, because on some franchises you wouldn't, expect them or want them to make big connections if the show was like bad or that. But this show is really great, as I said. So I love how the writers are taking time out of their hands and doing these small connections to the Boys universe, but also some bigger connections, including some major characters of the show in either like a big serious way or like a jokingly way, because the show does have a lot of jokes, but then it can get serious when it wants to. So I love how the writers are they're not overstepping their boundaries on these like connections, but they're making it noticeable for the viewers to like make these connections with it, make their own theories of what's going to happen with the Boys in the Gen V universe. I love how they're doing that. The show is also just as filthy as the Boys, and maybe I would say it's even more filthy than the Boys. It's insane how this could be like even more disturbing and gross than the Boys. And I said it's hard to be as gross as the Boys, because the Boys has a lot of disturbing moments. Someone's breaking someone's arm just on purpose, and then you just have heads blowing up, bodies blowing up, and some very sexual scenes in there. And some moments in the show actually made me want to look away because of how far they go with it. And they can go as far as they want, because it's a streaming show. You're not on network television. You're just on Amazon Prime, and you have a rating for it. It's like, and I mean, I think it's TV matured, which is basically rated R, so that's basically the rating for it. But they go so far that you have just the crazy opening with Marie getting like her period, but she can control the blood and just finds out about that power and accidentally controls the blood when her mom comes in and like makes it a little spear out of it and just accidentally throws a spear at her mom's neck with her mind. It's crazy. She basically killed her parents with her period blood. That's so hard to explain to people when you're kind of talking about this show because how weird and gross it is. But it's so weird. There's like just exploding dicks in this show. I don't know how to explain it. You have exploding heads just like in The Boys. And I guess that's really the point of the show, to show how college kids are they don't have a care in the world and can just do whatever they want. And they're showing them with powers now, so it gets even worse. And the kids are young, so you can't expect really much out of them. You can't expect them to be mature. And they're superheroes, so they think they own the world. And there's basically a whole conversation about that. The supes wanting to be supes and just control everyone. But then you have people underground, which we'll get to in a second, which want to stop the supes and want to kill the supes because, it's kind of destroying that world as a whole, which we've seen in the Boys universe. Now we're seeing build even deeper in the GenV universe. So yeah, the whole story of the show is built on, Godolkin University and having a college full of supes, which is already pretty interesting because we had the Boys, that's basically the main 7 superheroes, the 7 popular superheroes, 7 kind of most powerful superheroes. Some aren't as powerful as others, but now we get to a college where everyone in this college is basically a superhero, and they have these little power rankings like if you've seen sports, you have the NFL power rankings, NBA and all that. So this is like, Godolkin power rankings, which one is the most popular, which one kind of is the most powerful, and you're kind of looking for that power ranking, you're kind of looking for number 1, but it's also kind of great because they added in this subtle mystery. It starts out pretty subtle, but again, it gets very, it gets bigger. It's kind of like, I don't know if I would compare it to Scooby-Doo in some terms. You could compare it to Riverdale, but like on a bigger scale and on a better scale, because they do make fun of Riverdale on this show, so I guess I could say that a little bit. But I kind of want to compare it to Scooby-Doo because this group of members of the school get together, like an unlikely rag team of friends. They become friends, some have romances with others, and they sort of find out about this mystery going on under the school, and it's basically a lab called the Forest, or some of the characters also call it the Woods, and they're basically hurting and killing these supes underneath the school and testing them to get a new drug on basically, this drug can now kill supes. So now some people in this friend group don't really want to go agree with it. Some people do, so they're trying to make a stop to that. And it gets even crazier. I can't believe in what they do with this show. Some of the scenes down below in the woods are absolutely terrifying. Some are really funny, especially with Emma, how she gets small and goes in that guy's ear to save Sam. I absolutely loved when, the whole Sam plotline had to go save him. Great, but the story is just so interesting here. I loved how it's not just, this one friend group forming, even though I do love that. It's about kind of like a school that you think is harmless at the beginning. It's just really fun. You have a lot of supes here that do some weird things because they're college kids, but it's also pretty terrifying because of the forest and the woods underneath the school and the lab and what they're doing and how they're testing on these supes. And I want to say the script is just as strong as The Boys, because The Boys has some of the best scripts I've ever seen, and I would say like a comic book TV show, but maybe in TV as a whole, I think it would be in my top 10, top 15 shows of all time. The Boys probably would be. This isn't up there yet because it's only 1 season, but I would love to see where they take this in season 2 because that finale is utter insane. I can't wait to talk about it in a few moments. But they just keep going deeper into this universe and thriving, expanding the lore, world building, and it's interesting how they know how to write an interesting group of teens that have good and bad characteristics, because you kind of really want to like these teens in college students, but some of them are just so bad, it's hard to like them a lot. But this show is just built on such an insane level of quality. I thought every single episode was great. There were no bad episodes, so it's just insane to see these writers doing so well. So I just kind of want to applaud them, because it's hard to get a show right. It's hard to get a show right even if it's just a regular show, but you're including all these elements of superheroes, politics in here, and you're including teenage characters, which writing teenage characters is pretty hard. Writing a show about college is also pretty difficult at times, but I do like how they, they take jabs at other shows like Riverdale, Pretty Little Liars. It's pretty interesting how they take jabs at that, but that's kind of like my overall thoughts on the show, and kind of like a, little bit of spoiler away, but now we're going to dig right into what I thought about the finale and everything ranked. So let's get right into the big spoilers. All right, I just got finished with the finale. I'm filming this a little bit later than the beginning of this video, but holy crap, excuse my language, but holy shit, that finale was utterly insane, crazy, chaotic. What was happening? I gotta just declare this show as my favorite show of the year so far. I'm absolutely blown away. I'm stunned by what they did, by the consequences that we're now gonna have going into The Boys season 4. The cliffhanger is maybe the biggest cliffhanger of this year for television. I'm just blown away. I have no words. This episode had so many moments where I just stood up. I screamed because I was not expecting these things to happen. I don't know what to say. It's a very short episode, but it had so much in it, so much juicy details, so much to discuss. So let's get right into it. First, in the episode, we had Kate and Sam. You know, their villain team up. You know, Kate's already the villain from last episode. Now Sam joined her because Sam is, you know, he's not right in the mind, but, you know, Emma was trying to help him out. But now he left. You know, he doesn't want Emma's help anymore. He doesn't really know what to do, so he just wants to be a soup, continue to be a soup, and go with Kate. And Kate's eyes are so bloodshot this episode from her powers because she's not on the medication anymore. You know, the medication actually helped her out a little bit. Now she's just utterly insane. She's cracked out of her mind. She just wants to touch everyone. She wants to just get her hands on everyone, just tell everyone what to do. That's basically what she does this episode. Her eyes are just insane. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see her again. Her eyes are just fully it's just red. Like there's nothing else. It's just red. No actual eyes there, just red. That's what I'm gonna think that she's gonna do. Her eyes are just gonna turn red. You know, I think Kate. I really did love Kate from the beginning. I think she's beautiful. I think she's kind. Actually, I think she was kind. And I think she was a nice character at the beginning. But now, I don't know if I can like her anymore. I just feel so evil liking her after what she does to these people in this episode. And I actually loved seeing Ashley in here from The Boys. She is one of my favorite Boys characters. Even though she's not a soup, she's a very cool and funny supporting actor in that show. And Kate and Sam go down to the woods, down below the lab, and they let all the patients free. All of them. There's not that many anymore because they tried to kill them all, but they let them out. And some of them are pretty weird. This one guy that they let out said, "Is Gangnam Style still a thing?" And this is why I love this show. There's so many moments where it's just so funny and it's so subtle, but I just love it so much because Gangnam Style is not a thing anymore. I mean, you know, Psy is actually still pretty popular, but not here anymore. He's not popular in here. And Kate makes the guard eat his own hands. This is why I think Kate might be another menace to society. We might just have to label her as a menace to society. She makes the guard literally eat his hands. How do you eat your own hands? Yeah, I mean, you can't do it if you wanted to, but I guess if someone else makes you do it, you could do it at that point. But I don't want to imagine that. And then we just go back to an outside shot where the guy who got his dick blown off is just making TikToks. And I guess that just sums up our society right now. If there's a bad thing happening, just look outside. There's going to be someone doing TikToks. And it might or might not just be a college kid just minding his own business. Now all the wood people are let out, and guess what? They're just asking people, are you soup or are you human? And guess what? If they're human, they kill you right on the spot. This one guy just, you know, he has like some kind of burning powers, puts his hands on someone's eyeballs and just burns their eyes out, kills her that way. And I'm like, you know, this is just going to get chaotic, and it did get chaotic. It's a really chaotic part of the show, and they just went, this girl with like laser eyes just starts shooting. She's like boom, 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 boom. She's just looking everywhere, shooting everything. She has no care in the world. She's been down in the lab for like years, I guess, but she's just going insane. I do want to point out, I did love a moment where Sam and Emma are having a big talk. You know, Sam is trying to talk to, yelling at Emma, and then Emma stands up for herself. I love that a lot. Then she just suddenly got small after standing up for herself. She didn't even throw up. She just got small. I wonder what's up with that. Maybe she can now do it on command or not do it on command. It just happens randomly. That's very interesting. Maybe that will, you know, have some consequences for later in the show. And I actually got really sad in this episode because there's one sad moment in here where, you know, Sam is walking around trying to kill these people. He doesn't really know what's going on because he has some problems in his mind, and he does start, you know, seeing Luke, his brother, who you know, killed himself at the first episode. And, you know, this is just him seeing that in his mind, and Luke's like, this isn't you, Sam. You shouldn't be doing this. And Sam's trying to hold him off. And then Kate comes on and says, Sam, do you want me to help you? I can help you, put my hand on you, do all this weird stuff. and Sam ended up saying yes. And you know what? Kate tells Sam to feel nothing. I thought that was just a really sad, really just emotional moment, because you know Sam really felt nothing ever. You know, he really never knew what to feel because he has these, you know, he's gotten tortured like most of his life. It's a pretty sad moment. You know, when Sam finally said, "I feel empty inside," that just felt so wrong, because we had all this build up with him and Emma just creating a relationship. Emma making him, you know, get out of his comfort zone and actually feel like an actual person for a little bit. Now Kate's just turning him into another product, as Kate told Marie that she's a product, but it's actually Sam and Kate that are now products of, you know, Vought and GenV and Homelander, which we'll get to. And then Sam versus Andre was absolutely stunning. I love that fight, just hand-to-hand combat. But then Andre, you know, he gets a taser in his hand, just tasers Sam at like so hard. I actually love that fight. And then we see Marie. She actually uses some interesting powers here. You know, Jordan is in trouble, and you know, Marie and Jordan have a relationship going on. And Marie uses blood spears out of like these dead people on the ground. She's like spears out of blood. Such a cool scene, so cinematic. I love that moment. And you know, Kate comes up and tries to touch Jordan's arm. You know, Marie is like, "No, don't do it, don't do it." And this part got me absolutely, it made me stand up. Marie explodes one of Kate's arms. I was absolutely mesmerized and so surprised when she did this, because she's getting really close to actually exploding a human. Because, you know, she has that power and she can do it, but she's only on one body part so far. She's close, but Kate has now lost an arm. She has one hand she can't use now, because I'm pretty sure both of her hands do the thing. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think that she can use both hands. But if she can only use one hand and that hand got exploded, then what is her use anymore? What is her use? She just lost that whole basically lower half of her arm. So she deserved it too, though, because Kate was being a menace and an annoying bitch. Sorry, but she really was. I love her still, but she was being annoying. And then we have the most jaw-dropping moment in the show, when Homelander just pops up. He comes flying down from the sky, and I was like, no way. They didn't bring him in. They didn't. They brought Homelander in. And this part after this, just, I thought he was going to congratulate Marie. I thought it was going to be like, yeah, good job, Marie. Good job. But he fires against Marie. He's like, you just, you know, killed your own kind. And I'm like, what? What's he doing? And then he just shoots Marie with his laser eyes. And I'm like, what? Did he just kill her? Because I was wondering what's going to happen. And this is just so interesting, because it builds up even more and more of what The Boys Season 3 ended with. Homelander just feels like he can do whatever he wants now, because he killed an innocent bystander in Season 3, and now he's just allowing Kate and Sam to just kill innocent humans. It's insane. The build-up for The Boys Season 4 is incredible. I don't know what's going to happen, but then you have a cut because you think that Marie is dead. But then you have a cut and they go on the news and they say that Kate and Sam are the real heroes of Godolphin University. My jaw's already dropped on the floor by that moment, but I'm just like so annoyed now because of all we built through in this show just to have the villains win. The villains won! This is actually intense. What are we, Avengers Infinity War? The villains win. Kate and Sam. We never got a flash forward to where Kate and Sam are now, but they're probably top of the school right now. I wonder how Kate's feeling with that one arm. How you feeling, Kate? You know, you went through a lot of trouble just to lose that one arm. You're not going to be able to do much now, are you? Yeah. Kate and Sam, yeah, we're going to get some revenge against them because Marie, Andre, Emma, and Jordan are still alive. Surprisingly, I was very surprised they're still alive, but they're captured. I don't know where they're captured. They're on a place with no doors, just like the woods. But I have no idea where this is. If you guys want to, make your own investigation about this, maybe they're under Vought Tower. That's just one guess from me. They're under Vought Tower, or no, actually, they might be in that one place we saw in The Boys Season 3 where they hold like damaged soups at where that big penis monster guy was. They might be there. They're either at one of those two places or they're at a new facility that Homelander is just running. I'm wondering what's going to happen with them, but they're going to be involved in The Boys Season 4 because the creators did say that this leads into The Boys Season 4, that leads into GenV Season 2, then we lead into Boys Season 5, which I think is going to be the end. I'm not sure if Boys Season 4 or Season 5 is going to be the end, but it's very interesting where they're taking the show, and I was just enamored by the end of this because it's a 38-minute episode, but it just felt like a 2-hour movie with so much stuff going on, so much action. It was literally the most action-packed episode of the show, and I was just, mesmerized by what they're able to do. And that ending, where's the cliffhanger going to take us? Because, we've been having some good cliffhangers with Loki, and then this cliffhanger, and in the post-credit scene, I did not know there was going to be a post-credit scene. Showed up, Butcher is back. Billy Butcher is back. And he's just walking around the woods, the underground lab, because it's just all destroyed now. There's no one down there. He's walking around, and he just, anytime he's on screen, he doesn't have to say anything. It's just Billy Butcher, my favorite character of The Boys, and he just says his famous line, "What a bunch of cunts." I love that line. I can't do the accent, but I love the line. This is going to have some serious, connection to The Boys season 4. This is why I'm happy that this show was made. I'm happy that they did it in a great way, because they didn't just make it a show that doesn't mean anything. They made a show that's going to lead directly into The Boys season 4. How? Well, in a major way, but I don't really know how they're going to connect it now, because you have these 4 people, Marie, Andre, Emma, and Jordan, and they're just trapped. But then you have Billy, and he's going to take things into his own hand too. And then you have the boys. What's going to happen with the boys? Are we going to see the whole group again? How are they going to team up? Because we know Billy is, dying because he took Temp V. Then you have Homelander acting like he's the king of the world. He can just kill anyone he wants. So it's going to be very political next season, The Boys. It's going to be a lot of action, a lot of new characters. We're going to have, I don't know how they're going to do this with The Boys season 4. How are they going to have this many characters in that show? But I'm just excited. I hope everyone gets a lot of screen time. I was actually kind of hoping that we're going to get all the boys in the post-credit scene. That would have actually got me screaming if we had all the boys there. My boy Huey, I need to see Huey down there. But we just got Butcher, but that's enough for me. But it's actually insane how many characters are probably going to be in The Boys season 4 if we're going to include all the people from Gen V. I'm interested to see how many they're going to include and what's going to happen in, Gen V season 2. What's going to happen in that? It's so mysterious, this universe, but they're expanding in such a great way. I'm just floored by this universe. It's like a flawless universe for me. Now we're going to rank the episodes, and I'm going to tell you my favorite moment from them. Then I'm going to rank the characters. I'm going to go pretty fast for this because this is probably over a 20-minute video so far. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I want to preface by saying all these episodes are great. I feel like all of them are at least 8 out of 10s. The finale is a 10 out of 10 for me, I gotta say. But last up, I got episode 2, First Day. Kate makes... my favorite moment is when Kate makes his guy say Jumanji and hit himself with a baseball bat over and over again. That's just a funny part. It's when I really loved Kate and loved her powers, what she did for the friend group. Next up is episode 4. That's my second to least favorite. The Whole Truth. That scene, there's one scene in there that's my favorite part, but it's so gross, is when the dick blew up and you basically just got a full-on shot of it, full-on close-up of that thing blowing up, the blood just gushing through there and it just exploding. Yeah. As a guy, I had to look away from that a little bit. I don't want that to happen to me. Then episode 3, Think Brink. One of my favorite moments was Emma goes in the guy's ear, and when she's small and just starts like running around in there and just blows up his ear and kills him in there. Such a terrifying moment. That's why I would never, you see those videos like people having bugs in their ears. I'm like, no, I don't want anything in my ear. Next up, we had episode 1, God You. I love the origin episode. I have 2 favorite parts from this episode. Luke versus Jordan Lee was a really cool fight. I loved how they choreographed that, and I love how practical it was. I watched a video on how they did all these fights and stuff practically. Really loved it a lot, but probably my favorite moment is the first 5 minutes because it was so shocking. Marie's origin, we basically already explained this. She killed her parents with her period blood. Yeah, absolutely insane. I can't go around talking about this outside of my room because no one will understand what I'm talking about. Then we had episode 5, Welcome to the Monster Club. We're starting to get to some of my favorites here. My favorite part of here was Kate's betrayal. This is where we first learned that Kate's like betraying them. And just the whole end of the episode where she just makes Andre remember all the good moments. Such a sad moment. And this is where Kate started to become really an evil person. This is where we started to get to the juicy stuff of the show. Then my third favorite episode was Jumanji, episode 6. My favorite moment was Soldier Boy as Kate's imaginary friend. Just Jensen Ackles on screen for 5 minutes as Soldier Boy, just saying the most messed up stuff. Was absolutely hilarious. I bet Jensen Ackles just had a terrific time saying all that. because Soldier Boy, he's just from the past, so he probably has no idea what these things mean. But that was a great moment. My second favorite episode was episode 7, Sick, last week. Favorite moment was where Kate goes full evil and kills Shetty, and her eyes are just so bloodshot. This is where she just became a menace. She's just full evil at that moment. I gotta say, my favorite moments are Kate, because she's just a character that went through a lot. She started out really good, and now she's just full-on villain. And then, do I really have to say it? Like, come on. My favorite episode was the finale. That's a 10 out of 10 episode. So many favorite moments, everything insane. Top 3 moments, I gotta say, where Marie blows up Kate's arm. Finally, some justice to take Kate down. And then where a Homelander shows up, so surprising, cliffhanger. Butcher shows up in the finale. We all love Butcher. But yeah, the finale was just absolutely insane. You guys gotta leave your theories of what's gonna happen in The Boys season 4. I need to know your guys' theories. But it's absolutely insane. Now I'm gonna rank the characters. I'm not going to go in depth on this because we're already way over time on this video. So, 7, I got Luke / Golden Boy. He wasn't in it for too much on that first episode, but his powers were pretty epic, and the fight scenes in the first episode. 6, I had Sam. 6 through 1, they're all great characters. Sam is just a character that I think needs to grow a lot more. I hope he gets a lot more growth going, because he did have a decent amount of growth. 5, I got Andre. Andre, I think, was a little underdeveloped the second half of the season. The first half of the season, I liked him a lot. Loved the use of his powers. Now we learn that he shouldn't be using his powers because his dad is already dying from it. But yeah, I think he was underused during the second half. But in the last episode, I liked his fight with Sam. 4, I got Emma. Her powers are a little weird, but I do like her a lot. Her personality is epic, and she's not afraid to stand up for who she is. She's not afraid to help people too. I do like her personality a lot. I think she has probably the best personality on the show. 3, I have Kate. Kate is a menace to society. We all gotta know that. But she started out as just such a simple and very gentle character, because she was taking her pills. And I just love the way she speaks so softly and all that. And she seems like a very nice person in those first episodes. Then when she's off the pills in this last episode, she becomes just a maniac, a really cool villain with some really interesting powers of just touching someone. You can just tell him what to do. She makes this guy eat his own hands. Like, what? Like, what? I mean, I guess you can just be cool if you can make a guy eat their own hands. But Kate's an all-star of a character, and she got her arm blew off, so that just adds some more points for her at that point. 2 is Jordan Lee. They are an awesome character. I love how they can just switch from a man to a woman in just a split second. They have 2 different power sets for each gender. Absolutely really cool. I love their relationship with Marie. Very cool. I love their personality a lot. They're very funny. But number 1, I have Marie, the main character of the show, the person we introduced us with that horrible origin story. I love her blood power. She can just cut herself. I don't know. She can just, open up her skin. That sounds better. She can open up her skin and just use her blood to create anything, control anything. And now she basically, as we learn, has the power to explode people's heads and explode people as a whole, because she exploded Kate's arm. She just needs to get more use of that power and train herself with that power. Then she'll be able to use it. And I loved her character growth. I loved how she fit in with the whole friend group. And I loved the end of the episode, she just stood up. She stood up to Homelander, basically. She's like, I saved everyone. What are you talking about? Then she just got blasted in the chest. I'm glad she didn't die, though. I was a little bit worried. But those are my characters ranked. The top 3 are just insane. I think single character is great, except Luke. I mean, he didn't really have a lot of time to grow, but I liked him in those few moments that we saw him. So overall, Gen V. What a surprising show. As I said, I didn't think it was going to be that great from the first trailer. A lot of people had no hope for the show, but we got to hold hope for these, Boys Universe writers and showrunners, because they gave us a phenomenal show. Probably, I'm not going to say my favorite of the year, but top 3 until I think about it, because I'm on a high right now from that finale. Absolutely insane finale, as I said. It's setting up The Boys season 4. Who knows what's going to come in that. I can't wait. I can't wait to see these characters again, see what they're going to do with them in the next season of The Boys. But Gen V season 1, I loved it so much. As you guys can see, I'm starstruck from this. So, off of first rating, I'm going to give the whole series a 9.5 out of 10. I'm not afraid to give it that rating because I think it's just so top tier. Every episode was great. Characters have such good qualities, bad qualities, and the writing is just fantastic. Action elements are fantastic. You got to let me know, What did you guys think of this season of Gen V? Make sure you watch it. Watch this. And how do you think it's going to lead into The Boys season 4? And that's probably going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.